Hello everyone and welcome back to 2K14 Universe. It is me, Jitch, and you are watching NXT. There I am, it's me, look, there I am. Layla. For a minute I noticed she had blue nails and I went, whoa, does her nail color change with her attire? That's amazing. And then I realized she just has like, I think like a bunch of colors. Never mind. I thought that was really cool for a second. I was like, that's actually great. But no, she's just got like 5 different colors. Oh, okay. Anyway, Layla. Look, this is our NXT debut here tonight. And of course, the NXT Women's Championship will be on the line next week in the main event of NXT. It will be AJ Lee challenging Summer Rae to try and win back the win the NXT Women's Championship. She actually never held that one because it only just got introduced. And again, as we welcome the newcomers here to NXT, Aksana out next. And of course, big shout out to people who don't really listen to me when I talk in my videos. But I will be reminding you that the reason I'm not adding any extra matches for the women's division to exist here on NXT is because there aren't that many women. That's why I'm putting them onto NXT. Because there aren't that many men on here either, so it kind of balances out better. And 3 matches works very smoothly. This should be a good opening matchup. Honestly, really showcase. Boy, you can really tell sometimes I don't know what to say. I really showcase their talents, honestly, and of course, I gotta say, I feel like you know, if AJ Lee or Summer Rae, whoever wins next week in the main event of NXT for the NXT Women's Championship, I think it's got to be the end of it between those two. And you know, these are two that I could see potentially stepping up. You know, believe it or not, Layla has never, well, maybe not never, but I don't recall when she last ever had an opportunity at the Women's Championship, be it the Divas or Women's Championship. She's been around for both of those titles, and I don't believe Layla has had like a one-on-one opportunity in an extremely long time, if ever, and I don't believe she's ever won it, that's for sure. Well, last week we had a very interesting moment in the closing moments of NXT. Dusty Rhodes declined a handshake offer from Big E Langston. We had got some comments from Dusty Rhodes. He said, look, I'm sorry for letting my emotions get the best of me, but I've been here since the start of NXT. I'm a well-respected veteran in the wrestling world. And, you know, I was in the first ever EYS match. It seems like whenever I get an opportunity as big as the one I had against Big E Langston last week, I come up short. Frustration's boiled over. I'm sorry for my actions, but I'm just a little sick of losing right now. Sounds like Dusty Rhodes has fallen on hard times, daddy! And a suplex by Layla. Big E Langston will be in action up next as he faces another superstar, very similar in the position to Dusty Rhodes actually, Ric Flair. Been here since NXT came back around, and you know, Flair has been constantly trying to get off of NXT. Much like Dusty Rhodes, and he just keeps coming up short when it matters the most. But we'll see if he can defeat the NXT champion. Up next, of course, our main event. Tonight, the Primetime Players look to compete in, I don't know, there's like a 7th EYS match we've ever had. We'll be up against JBL and Rick Rude. We'll see if the Primetime Players can head over to Friday nights. Coming out of tonight at the expense of one of the Coalition's members, JBL, and of course Rick Rude, who has not yet really made much of an impact over on SmackDown. I feel like actually in a way NXT might benefit Rick Rude for the move, and wow, considering JBL's current position, it would definitely benefit him. Could you imagine JBL versus Big E Langston for the NXT Championship? I actually think that's a genuine threat here on NXT. I know that JBL has really slipped recently. He hasn't really been able to live up to the standard of the former WWE champion that he is, but I tell you, if NXT gains JBL, I think we've got ourselves a very promising future champion right there. Once again, thank you for tuning in for NXT. Oh wow, Big slaps one after another by Aksana. Oh my god. Oh, what is happening here? Oh. Well, that wasn't very pretty, whatever it was. Why was she standing like that afterwards? She got really stanced up for a minute there. That was a little bit of an awkward connection. There's some weird ring noises going on in my right ear exclusively. Like, they sound like they're happening in a different ring. Like, there's like a hidden ring off to the right. Hang on. I don't hear anything. Oh, no, I just heard it again. What is that? Cover attempt here by Layla. Almost, but not enough. Leather-clad Lithuanian. That certainly was a sign. DDT by Aksana. Really? Forever Flawless? Sure about that? Trouble in Paradise? What? Why do so many women have that move? Cover attempt here by Aksana. And, oh, no, Layla kicks out. Pretty sure like one of the Bellas did that not that long ago. What the hell? Kofi Kingston should sue. This is gimmick infringement. Cover attempt. Just the one. And Aksana with a big spine buster. That is a finisher move, believe it or not. She can deliver a pretty good spine buster. Is this going to be enough to put away Layla? Oh, no, it's not. That's a shame. I really thought Aksana was finally going to pick up a win. It's been a long time since we've seen Aksana win. These, like, ring noises in my right ear are really bugging me because they're so quiet. Like, they're there, I can hear them, but they're, like, really gentle, like, just off in the distance. And the elbow drop almost gets the job. I tell you, Aksana's really, like I mentioned at the start of this, showcasing something we've not yet seen. It's like she's taken this opportunity to kick off NXT tonight and said, look, the eyes are on me. I'm going to make the most of it. Cover attempt here. Just a 1 count. It's a shame, statistically, most people skip over matches and just look at the results because I'm going to say these two are really impressing, actually. Aksana's lost a lot of stamina here, and now it's showing. Nice arm drag takedown there. Aksana pulling Layla away, and now going into the cover. Is this going to be enough to put her away? No, just a 2 count. Oh, that did not connect very smoothly at all. Hip toss takes down Aksana. Layla. I tell you, these two are really, they're really trying to get the eyes, the attention on them. Trying to build momentum. This is a great showing here. This really feels like a classic NXT women's match. And Layla with the layout. Yes! That's got to be it. Cover. Layla with the win. Layla with the win. Layla with the win. Hard fought match, honestly. Great way to kick off NXT. Really showcase what these two have to offer, and honestly, Aksana came off a lot more believable than we've seen her in quite some time here. That was good. I was happy with this. I feel like both of these two, you know, they really got the spotlight on them here tonight, and they rolled with it. And obviously, with the NXT Women's Championship match just next week, we could be looking for a new contender, and we might have just found one right here. Congratulations to Layla. We're kicking off this week's NXT with a win. As we move on, up next, the NXT champion Big E Langston is in action. She did not close her mouth once during that whole thing, did she?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring. From Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 232 pounds, Ric Flair.
Well, say what you want. This man, obviously a very historically successful, well-respected and recognized wrestler in the industry. But, I'll say this. he's really got to try and make the most of this opportunity tonight, because Ric Flair's run so far in this series has been unfortunate, underwhelming. These are just a few words I would use to describe the way that Ric Flair has panned out thus far in NXT. But here tonight, he's got a big opportunity against Big E Langston, the NXT champion. A lot of people looking to try and knock off the champ right now. Big E seeming a little short on competition here on NXT as of late. I tell you, we got a real star on our hands here. I stand by this.
From Tampa, Florida, weighing 302 pounds, the NXT champion, Big E Langston.
Well, the big man is in action here. Big E Langston with the NXT championship around his waist. And I tell you what, he's been a great champion so far. I believe he retained the title just last week against Dusty Rhodes. I think that was a title match. I'm pretty sure it's a title match. Obviously, it was a lot longer than a week ago I last did it, so I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure it was a title match. And Big E Langston obviously continues to try and get closer and closer to beating the record set by Andre the Giant as NXT champion. Now, this is a non-title match here tonight, but if Ric Flair can defeat Big E Langston, there's no doubt about it, there will be a rematch for the title down the line. The question is, you know, does Big E forgive Dusty Rhodes for denying that handshake? I don't know why it's a question, but it is. You know, is it a little obvious when I don't really know what to say? I think it is. But yes, Dusty Rhodes, of course, declined that handshake, and I mentioned earlier tonight, but, you know, in case you skimmed through the women's match, I'll say it again. Big E Langston obviously extended a handshake to Dusty Rhodes last week on NXT. Dusty declined the handshake, struck it away, walked away upset, and obviously, you know, frustrations have boiled over the fact that he just keeps coming up short here on NXT. He has apologized. He said that that's not who he wants to be. That's not his behavior. And I do wonder if Dusty Rhodes truly meant what he said there. I mean, you know, I've always known Dusty Rhodes. In my many years, I've known Dusty, you know, back when we were on the road together. He's a good-hearted man. He's a, you know, he's just a common man. Working hard burger man. I don't actually know what the line is. That's what I've always heard in that song. That's a pretty good belly-to-belly there. And, of course, up next, the Primetime Players facing off against JBL and Rick Rude. And I mentioned this before. If the Primetime Players win, I think Big E Langston's reign could be in some serious danger. I mean, we're getting... I'll put it this way, right? If the Primetime Players win, NXT, for the first time ever, has a former WWE champion on its roster. And I know what you're going to say. Ric Flair's in the ring. Different WWE champion, right? This is a parallel unit. Like, I don't think I've ever once gone on record saying this in the series. I'm going to say it now. This is a parallel universe where everyone is in their prime. When I first started this, I had quite a few comments, right, on NXT, not complaining about Ric Flair being on NXT. I had people going, why aren't you using old man sack of potatoes Ric Flair? You know why I'm not using him? Because this is a parallel universe where you can be the best version of yourself on any given week. And that's exactly what I'm going to take advantage of. That's why we don't have, as I call him, old sack of potatoes Flair. Kicks out the leg and, oh, strikes him there. But yeah, I hope that explains, in case anyone at any point has been watching this and they're like, why? Why do you use all these people? Or one of my favorite arguments I used to get all the time. Well, they're old at this point. Like, they shouldn't really be winning. It's a fantasy universe, all right? Everyone is in their prime. And they will remain that way. Big E, like, where is he going here?
I just can't get over the physicality of this match. This has been brutal.
Takes down Ric Flair. Big E Langston tearing apart this announce table. Shout out to Bryce Walker, Daniel Bryan this upcoming Sunday on NXT. I mean, TLC. Different letters, sorry. I've been told this will be the final ever TLC event. Thank God. And Big E Langston with a big ending on the table. With this even of heart flare. I feel like Big E just kind of put himself through that. Well, anyway, it looked cool. That's what matters. It's like locking in a submission hold on an announce table. It hurts more because the table was there.
Now back to the ring, moving on pure instinct now. What will it take to finish this superstar?
Big E Langston takes on the leg of Ric Flair now from behind. Nope. Belly to belly takes down Big E. I wonder if it'll be a similar situation if Flair loses to Big E Langston tonight. Will he also be frustrated at the loss to Big E Langston, similar to Dusty Rhodes, you know? I mean, this is another guy who, I feel like Dusty and Flair, they've been down a very similar path here on NXT. They've had a lot of exposure. Whenever they do get a match, it's generally them trying to leave NXT. They've come up short a little too much, honestly, and I feel like you're looking at a couple of guys that are trying to change that for themselves, but obviously I don't think setting foot in the ring with the unstoppable monster of an NXT champion that Big E Langston is the way to do it sometimes. I think they need to rise the ranks a little bit. I'm sure NXT could benefit from another singles championship, but, you know, maybe we'll give it a little while. At the moment, the roster's very small, so it's the NXT championship or bust. DDT there by Ric Flair. I mean, I'll give him credit where due. He has definitely held his own pretty fairly against Big E Langston, for what it's worth. Flair now. Butterfly suplex! Sends Big E Langston across the ring. And he works the leg for the first time this match. And you know what's coming next. That's right, a pinfall. That is what would come next. Absolutely. What were you thinking? Figure 4? No. Leg sweep by Big E Langston takes down Ric Flair and slamming his head against the mat. Wrestle there by Flair and oh, poke to the eyes and referee, ring the damn bell. Ring the damn bell! Doesn't do a damn thing about it. Unbelievable. I know it's referee's discretion and all that, but like, come on. Come on. Snapmare into a submission hold here. Ric Flair locked in. He's kicking. He's paddling. He's trying to roll away, and he headbutts out. We got some long matches here on NXT. I kind of like it though, you know. For half, you know, these episodes are normally only like 20 minutes long, so I kind of welcome the ones where it goes a little longer, honestly. Big E Langston pulling Ric Flair away here, and here's the cover. Is this going to be the end of No, just a 2 count. Big E. Oh wow, big running slappy do there, and now goes into the cover on Ric Flair, and that is enough. Big E Langston picking up another win there. This guy continues to be just a beast on NXT. Oh, I'm kind of feeling this song. You know, I'm gonna stand up on the announce table. Hey, cameraman, look at me! I'm on the table. I'm flinging my arms around. Look at me! Look at me! Focus on me! Focus on me! Shout out to Pat McAfee. Not a fan. Look at me, I'm still on the table, I'm doing it as well. Millions of dollars, focus on me! Sorry, I watched the Royal Rumble recently, the 2024 Royal Rumble, and Pat McAfee came back on commentary, and like I kind of like when he's on commentary because Michael Cole, Corey Graves, you know, they all have fun. It's nice. I like when the commentators are enjoying themselves. I fucking hate when he stands up on the announce table and starts being all like, look at me, look at me. I hate that shit. I love when the commentators are having a good time. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely love it. But I feel like when you're like taking away from the show, that's when it gets a little obnoxious. And he does that a lot. So it's just I saw the video recently of him doing it to Jey Uso's intro. And I was like, man, don't steal that from Jey. Fuck off. Jey put so much work in recently. He's like become such a big deal. Don't fucking make it all about you, Pat. Go away. I hate that shit. I really can't stand it. I know in a way he's helping it like remain over, but I don't know. To me, it's like when Michael Cole starts like, I don't know. There's like a certain like thing that like commentators do. They make things corny, and that's just what he does. He just makes it lame. Pat McAfee makes it lame. When he started doing the Shinsuke thing, I was like, oh fuck. Well, Shinsuke's more ruined than he was already. Sorry to go on about that. Just saw it recently and it annoyed the shit out of me. Personal opinion. I know a lot of people love it. Well, here's a sight I never thought I would see.
Tag team partner, representing the coalition from New York City, John Bradshaw Layfield.
JBL actually initially refused in an exclusive on not a real website, WWE.com /justjitch, the JJ Rest, yes, .fake. JBL actually was approached and said, you know, he was asked, how do you feel about this upcoming match? How do you feel about having to defend your spot on SmackDown? JBL said, I'm not going to. I don't give a damn if Rick Rude goes out there on his own and loses. I'm not going out there, and I'm not putting my SmackDown position at jeopardy. I am a former WWE champion, and you will respect me. JBL was then told that if Rick Rude went out there and fought on his own and lost, JBL would become a part of NXT because he would still be registered as the other member of the tag team match. So JBL is here very reluctantly. He has said that he is above NXT. He said that all he'd do here is take the title off of E Langston and dominate, and it would just be a waste of him and everyone else's time. He doesn't need this. They don't need him. He will kill this brand. Threatening words. So here we go. Starting things off, it's Rick Rude and Titus O'Neil. And again, reminder, JBL does not want to be here tonight. He doesn't want to be a part of NXT at all. And that's the only reason he is here, is because if he's not, well, the odds of him losing become a lot higher, because although Rick Rude is a great talent, it would be a handicap match against a very experienced tag team. And I'll tell you what, this is actually, you know what, we've had a lot of EYS matches where people have like come and gone from NXT, and it's been like, you know, kind of like a big deal. But I feel like if the primetime players win here tonight, this is a huge, this is honestly, I'm going to say this, and I don't mean any disrespect to the Shield, I just feel like they weren't here for very long. I feel like this would be the first like kind of real monumental, like, historical feeling change. I don't know if people really understand what I'm saying here. I mean, but like, I feel like if the primetime players win, this is a big part of NXT they'll be leaving. It'd be like Big E Langston leaving NXT, or like Andre the Giant when he left. Obviously, his wasn't an EYS; it was a loser leaves NXT. But you know, it just feels like the primetime players are part of like the heart of this generation, the first generation of NXT. I feel like to lose them is to lose a big part of what's made NXT what it is. Oh, big right hand there by Darren Young to JBL. I'll tell you one thing that I don't think Rick Rude and JBL are prepared for is these young superstars. They have been incredible as a tag team. JBL and Rude have obviously never worked together, but the primetime players, they're a phenomenal tag team here in NXT. Two-time NXT tag team champions. Recently were unable to recapture the championships when Darren Young suffered a minor injury at ringside, meaning Titus had to go 2-on-1 with the Snake Pit. And of course, you know, that 7-foot freaking nature, Wolf Kessler and his, don't tell him I said this, but psychotic tag team partner, Jake Roberts. They are a dangerous tag team here in NXT, and honestly, right now, I don't envy any teams on NXT. I've heard that Sin Cara and Rey Mysterio are very hopeful that they can one day get a shot at the tag team titles here on NXT, but of course, as it currently stands, they're far from an opportunity. Next week, Sin Cara looks to try and get a win over David Otunga the same way that Rey Mysterio got a win over David Otunga, and of course, there's a lot of history between Sin Cara and David Otunga, so it should be interesting. Also, the tag team champions will be in action to kick off next week's NXT. Wolf Kessler and Jake Roberts will be facing off against, right now, one of the only tag teams with a win heading into this. It will not be a tag team title match, though, but it will be Brodus Clay and Virgil up against the Snake Pit next week to kick off NXT. Clay and Virgil picked up a win over Mysterio and Sin Cara recently. Looks like the Snake Pit looking to shut down that momentum pretty quickly. Darren Young takes it into the corner. Hopefully he won't suffer another injury here tonight. Not in a match this important. JBL quick to tag out. And I'll tell you what, if Rick Rude loses, I mean, he's going to have to lose those tights. I'm telling you that now. I'm not saying take them off. Not like that. But he's going to have to change them up because obviously at that point, I mean, he's got to leave Ultimate Warrior behind him completely. He's not even the same brand as him. And the Intercontinental Championship, well, a lot further away from that than you were before. If you lose, that is. Right hand to the back of Titus O'Neil and a tag made to JBL. I say it would be another huge gain for NXT, perhaps the biggest ever in JBL. I think Rick Rude actually has a lot of potential here in NXT as well, don't get me wrong, but just no days off.
There's going to be a lot of offense in this match.
Time to take out the Ghetto Blaster. The hell is that sign about?
Look at these two jockey for position.
What? That's no one in this match's gimmick. What?
This match has been 100 miles an hour since the opening bell.
Rakes the eyes of Titus O'Neil. JBL looking very angry there. Oh, he gets slammed down. Of course, let's remind you that JBL has one of the worst win-loss records this season. I think he's like 1-19 or something. I think it's actually worse than I think it's actually worse than Ray's. It's pretty bad if I'm not mistaken. What is JBL's? It's 4-16. Sorry, it's not as bad as Ray. Sorry, Ray. Ray's is 2-18. So yeah, it's not as bad, unfortunately. Whoops. Sorry, I pressed the wrong scene there as I went back in. Shoulder tackle there by JBL. Uh-oh. Titus O'Neil dangerously in position. Uh-oh. $1 billion powerbomb drops down. Titus O'Neil center. JBL, what are you doing? I think he's telling Rick to get across the ring and back him. Rick Rude screwed that one up pretty big. I believe JBL would have had the match won there. I'm going to be honest with you. No offense to Titus O'Neil. So that is a WWE Championship winning move JBL just did there. Rick Rude's miscommunication just completely blew it for them there. And he continues to risk their spot. And by the way, you notice the attire that the Primetime players wearing here tonight. Saying they're destined for the blue brand. Kind of like that homage to Friday Night SmackDown. Darren Young, float over DDT. And elbow drop to Rick Rude there by Young.
Listen to this place come alive and build support for him.
Slamming down the arm of Darren Young. Rick Rude into the cover on Young. Is this going to be enough to get the job done? Titus right there to break it up. Of course, this main event got some high stakes here. It can really change things up. Not only here on NXT, but over on Friday Night SmackDown. Of course, Primetime players, they'll have to work their way up, no doubt about it. But, those World Tag Team titles would look pretty great around the waists of the Primetime players. I'll tell you that. Superplex here by Rick Rude. He elbows the head of Darren Young. What are you doing?
Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
Takes down Rick Rude. Darren Young in controls. He goes for the cover. Is he going to be able to put Rick Rude away? No, just a 2. Just a 2.
And there's the count.
Snapmare into a submission hold. And then, of course, season 4. Let me remind you, but no.
He missed.
I do feel like we could be in the closing moments of this tag team match here tonight.
It's been so physical.
Darren Young in control. He doesn't take any days off. I don't know if you knew that. Cover attempt here. Is this going to be enough to get the job done? No, just a 2 count.
I can't believe everything that's transpired thus far. It's been so physical.
Into the corner with Rude. Oh, no. Reversal.
And he missed that one. That was sure
Very awkward exchange there, but you know what? Darren Young
He makes the tag.
able to get out of the situation. And honestly, Rick Rude kind of holding his own. Oh, JBL comes back in.
What are we going to do next?
Rude seems to want nothing to do with Titus O'Neil. He is the real deal. Ooh, big kick to the back. Titus into the cover on JBL. Has he got the match won? No. I tell you, JBL and Rude, credit where due. They've worked pretty well as a team. You consider this established tag team that they're up against. I feel like these two have worked pretty well together. Titus, what do you do? Titus, calm down.
Oh, no.
JBL drops Darren Young off the ropes. But that's not the man that's legal in the ring. Uh-oh, season 4, baby! Oh, just a rope break there. I like really clipped my microphone there. I've never had it make a noise like that before. JBL taking Titus away from the ropes and into the cover. Is this match over here? Maybe. No, just a 2.
Boy, this has just been pandemonium.
Uh-oh, JBL second time with this powerbomb. I believe this is the second time Titus has taken it too. Ooh. That's a lot of tease. And he once again communicating to Rick Rude saying, look, get in here. And Rick Rude really not taking orders from JBL very well. Darren Young into the ring and once again breaks things up. I feel like JBL is going to have Rick Rude to blame if they lose here tonight. I mean, he has had this match won on 2 different occasions.
I don't know as a WWE superstar.
Titus into the cover. Is this one over? No.
We got a tag.
Double tag made here. Young and Rude both in the ring. Young favoring those ribs.
I can't believe everything that's transpired thus far. It's been so physical.
Next week takes down Rick Rude. Darren Young now in control. And he works the leg. Darren Young with a neck breaker.
You can see the wear and
You do not want to miss this Friday night on SmackDown. Mark Henry was supposed to face Sheamus at TLC. However, the general manager, Paul Heyman, changed that one out to be Big Show and Mark Henry for the World Heavyweight Championship after Sheamus has come up short in several weeks. Sheamus looks to redeem himself in a non-title match against Mark Henry this Friday on SmackDown. There's the gut check by Darren Young to Rick Rude. Titus stops JBL. The primetime players are headed to SmackDown. There you have it. A huge set. And the tag team champions, Damian Sandow and Steiner. That's Steiner, everybody, not Jake Roberts. Scott Steiner and Sandow letting the primetime players know that they are ready for their arrival on Friday nights.